This is the Voice of the Land podcast.
All right, so we are getting to the end of the podcast here, and I know we teased it, and I don't know how much time we have.
We got about 10 minutes.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So just because we talked about movies and, sports movies that have kind of come out, and people are having those conversations, and people are saying, well, you have these 3 sports movies,
right,
or these 3 movies, or these 9 movies, which 3 are you keeping? Those types of things, those types of trends out there on social media. And, of course, last week we saw that we just passed the 40th anniversary of one of the best Star Wars movies of all time, Empire Strikes Back. And, Paulus, I know that you have that rated as your best Star Wars movie.
Absolutely.
Now, you guys don't have to go in any order, but just top 5 favorite movies of all time. Paulus, you wanted to get the conversation going.
Yeah.
I know that we kind of start this way. We just kind of tend to go in a natural position. I'll start with Peter next week when you're not here. Cause,
gotcha.
Yeah,
we'll go from there.
Go with the other P. But
right.
just your top 5, because I know that you've had this itching and on the tip of your tongue for 2 weeks now.
Absolutely. For me personally, and once again, this is in no particular order or anything like that. These are my favorite movies. It doesn't mean that they are the greatest movies of all time. Once again, I love Empire Strikes Back. Once again, we just talked about it, the 40th anniversary. It is Star Wars. I grew up watching that movie almost on a daily basis. That and A New Hope, and Return of the Jedi is a little, I don't know. Like I love Return of the Jedi. I mean, it's top 5 Star Wars movie for me for sure. But it's one of those movies where it's like it just didn't catch me like it does.
Right.
The other movies. The Dark Knight, obviously, huge Batman fan.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that you could pick. That is by far for me. Superhero movie wise, it is right there with everything else out there. I think it's better than everything else just because of the real.
To the DC rule too.
It really is. It really is. I mean, Christopher Nolan is one of my favorite directors. He actually has a new movie coming out, Tenet. I don't know. I was going to say, it looks fantastic. I'm really looking forward to that. Actually, the new Batman, Robert Pattinson, is going to be in that movie as well. Okay. So, we'll get to see his acting skills, play out before the Batman
outside
comes
of the
out.
Twilight.
Twilight. Right. I've never watched any of those movies, nothing like that. So I'm going to give him a pass for those.
Yeah. I can't even remember what the other guys. Just like, are you an Edward or a?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. But I'm really looking forward to seeing that. Jurassic Park. Love Jurassic Park. I think it is by far the best one of the series. The original one. I actually just watched it the other day with Kelly. I love that movie so much. The Departed. Okay. Leonardo DiCaprio is my favorite actor, and I think he is just a voice for us out there. I mean, and he plays the perfect character in that movie. I mean, you have Matt Damon in the movie, you have Mark Wahlberg. I mean, literally the cast is crazy. Jack Nicholson, fantastic all the way through. And then my favorite comedy, Dumb and Dumber. I gotta have Dumb and Dumber on that list. Now, I don't think it's the greatest comedy or the greatest film of all time or anything like that. But to me, I love that movie. I could quote that entire movie all the way through. Just so amazing all the way through. Love it.
Peter?
Wow, it's funny because I was writing down a list and I couldn't come up with just 5.
Right.
And so
it's tough.
It is tough because there's so many good ones out there. And honestly, Nick, Empire, like you said, Empire.
Yeah.
To me, growing up, that was the fact that it ends on the bad guys winning. The way that that whole movie was, how dark it was for what it was. What just stuck with me.
That's why I love Infinity War, by the way. Over Endgame, I love Infinity War just because it's dark.
It's so human, right? Because it's like
it doesn't good guys winning.
It doesn't. Well, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't tie everything up in a nice little bow. But yeah, in Jurassic Park, I remember seeing that in the theaters when I was in high school when that came out. I mean, I was blown away by that, and really,
it still holds up.
It does. And I've watched it with my kids. They watch it. But Office Space for me, I mean, I worked in a cubicle farm in the 90s.
Oh yeah.
And that movie is just so
it hits you
freaking dead on.
Yeah.
I told you that if you move my desk one more time,
I'll burn down this whole place.
I do have a red swing line stapler, so.
Do you?
Oh yeah. It might actually be here.
Yeah. I'm gonna need you to come in.
Oh yeah.
Saturday.
Totally. I mean,
we all had.
It was just so. I work for a tech company, a tech-centric company. Like back then, it was like, man, it hit home. Great movie, Indiana Jones.
Yep.
It's a toss-up for me between Raiders, loved Raiders, but also The Last Crusade. Because Sean Connery is so freaking good as his father.
I'm a Last Crusader over Raider, and I love I love I love it. So,
and then like MCU, there's so many great movies in there, but the one that really stuck with me was Guardians, the first Guardians, because the soundtrack for that movie is just so.
It's the best.
I don't know if you could have a better soundtrack.
I actually have the album. Yeah, I have the vinyl of it.
Do you? Okay,
I love it.
I have a Spotify playlist that is the soundtrack.
I got Pandora.
The volume 1 and 2.
I'm going to watch Guardians tonight now.
Yeah, it's just that was great. But I also like a lot of like the Simon Pegg movies. Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah,
it was just Baby Driver was a great movie with the music and the timing.
You know what?
I haven't seen it.
Baby Driver is fantastic. You have to watch it. I got a bunch of my friends. I came out. We came out. Kelly and I. I'm pointing at my wife over there. We came out and we saw Baby Driver, and I thought it was like one of the best movies I had seen all year. A couple of my friends went to go see it, and they're like, I mean, it was okay. It was. I loved it though. I'm right there with you, Peter. It's so good.
The timing and the Edgar Wright, the way. If you go on YouTube, you can find like a breakdown of Baby Driver and of how it's edited and just how tight that movie is edited to the soundtrack. And it's like, you don't realize the thought that goes into some movies are just sloppy.
Right. Yeah.
And, but that's a great movie. And like you said, The Departed. I didn't even think of that one.
Yeah.
Until you said it, because that is just one of those movies where it blows you away.
I think there are better mob movies out there. Like Goodfellas, Godfather 1 and 2. Like I think those are better overall mob movies. But just the way that they play it out and the characters involved in that movie, I don't think it gets any better than that. And I could watch these 5 movies. I could watch over and over and over again, and that's why they are my top 5 movies.
Like I said, I mean, there's so many. Dogma, great movie because it was just so out there. Boondock Saints.
Yeah,
that's a great movie. There's, like I said, I can't pick 5.
Yeah, it's tough to pick 5. How much time do I have? I mean,
I'll give you the floor. So,
I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna go with full 5, and it's not even like any particular order. But when you mention this, one movie, I know it's gonna be weird to people hearing this and being the first movie that comes out of my mouth, but you guys have already said so many good ones. Space Jam is one of my favorite movies of all time because it holds a special place for me. Because it's a basketball movie. I grew up with the history of it and Michael in there, but also loving the Looney Tunes. And it was the first movie I ever got a chance to see. My aunt took me to, my godmother took me to in the theaters. One of the special moments I've had with her. So it resonates with me on a deeper level than just being a fun sports movie with Jordan winning at the end, he able to extend the arm.
Spoiler alert.
Okay. If you haven't. We don't give spoilers on here. If you haven't seen it by now, you know that it's a problem that you're getting a spoiler.
Movie, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but so that holds a big place for me. It's hard to pick some of the top ones in the MCU, but I mean, I'm a movie franchise guy. I'm summer blockbuster guy, and maybe that's a lack of culture on my end in the movie sense. But I don't get into a lot of the movies that come up for Academy Awards and stuff. My movie time of the year is the summer blockbusters that get the D ratings by all the critics, and I just love all the action. Like, I know that Transformers, I can't watch it all the time, like all those movies, but every now and again, I just need, like, robots exploding.
Right, exactly. No, you're right. Sometimes that's all you want. I mean,
Yeah. Like I don't care if there's a storyline or not. Just give me robots.
Explode.
Just yes.
Right.
Come on,
Independence
Bumblebee.
Day. Right, Independence Day. Great,
Yeah,
great movie.
Love-
Stuff blowing up everywhere.
Love Independence Day.
That
Great
was
movie.
That was a movie I was gonna bring up. Like I can watch that even when it's not Independence Day because
I watch it every Independence Day.
Yeah,
though, like
I do too. But like I love just like the lines in there. I love that movie. MCU of course, Guardians of the Galaxy, Civil War, the Avengers movies are really good for me. And I mean, there's so many good comedies. I love that you brought up Office Space because that is a movie I can watch over and over again. And it's weird because we actually watched that going down to Disney World. And I think it was Disney World. There was some sort of like school trip that we watched it on, and we started like hearing like this rap, like the rap music, but it wasn't the edited version at first.
Right.
Nice.
So I was like, all right, like this is the kind of music I get into. Like I love this kind of element to this movie. And like the Dumb and Dumber, the Happy Gilmore, the Adam Sandler kind of comedies. Heck, I even love both oh my goodness, I just had it in my head and I can't even think of it. Where it's like Schneider and Kevin James and Sandler.
Was it Grown Ups?
Yeah, Grown Ups. Grown Ups 1 and 2. Like I just sometimes you need that sort of just dumb comedy too. Like I love those kind of movies. I'll get into some of the Academy level ones every now and again, but I can't watch those over and over again.
Yeah.
When I love a movie, I know that I can go back and watch it over and over and maybe spend too much money at the theater to see it over and over and over again before it comes out and it's more accessible like on Netflix and things like that now.
There's a couple of things that popped up. I love Guardians of the Galaxy. It is my favorite MCU movie. So I mean that is right up there for me as well. Logan, the Wolverine.
I have not seen that yet, but I need to.
I'll bring it next time. Next time I see you, I'll bring it up. It is
3 weeks.
Right? Yeah, 3 weeks from now. It is. I love Wolverine. Yeah,
yes.
like Wolverine is just amazing. Hugh Jackman. I mean, he played the part for like 20 years. I mean,
he's good in that Greatest Showman too.
We just watched that the other day. Yeah,
that's a great one too.
That's a really good. That's really good. I am not. You're not going to be a fan of me. Because I think the most overrated movie of all time is Space Jam.
Really?
Yeah, I do, and it's cool that you love it, and I know a lot of people.
I understand why you think that.
A lot of people do.
Yeah.
I just like every time I can't watch Space Jam anymore, and I don't know if that's like the LeBron fan in me that just like I'm like over Michael Jordan. Everything about Michael Jordan, I'm just over.
Yeah.
But I can't watch it, and I'm not gonna lie to you. Like whenever we do Space Jam 2, LeBron's gonna be coming out. Yeah, I think next summer. And like I'm not gonna be rushing out to go see that.
I will.
I know you will. I know you will. But I get
first one in line for Space Jam 2. As soon as tickets come available, I will buy them.
See, there you go. But like for me personally, I don't know. Like I just view it as an overrated movie. But that's me, and I respect you for putting it as one of your favorite movies.
One I forgot to mention.
Yeah.
Speaking of sports movies, Field of Dreams.
Great movie.
Yeah. I mean that's
if you build it. They will come.
I get goosebumps every time I watch that movie, and like I cry every time too.
That's acceptable.
That is totally acceptable.
Birth of a child, death of a parent, and
Field of Dreams. That is perfect.
Another baseball movie I really love as a sports movie is The Natural.
The Natural's very good.
I love
with Robert Redford.
I love that movie too.
Yeah.
Someday we'll have to like break these down like top 5 in like different categories. I think
next time we come on, the three of us, let's do a top 5 sports movies.
Yeah,
let's do that.
Because then you get in like the whole realm of Disney and Disney Plus and what it has to offer. Like you got Pixar, everywhere. You got the Disney movies. Like
right.
You could just go into so many different realms.
Oh,
there.
Absolutely.